Today I wanted to talk to you guys about a special and exciting opportunity that God has placed before me that will be happening in the next couple of months. So, short and sweet, I'll be serving in Mexico City through a missions organization called CMFI, standing for Christian Missionary Fellowship International, for around 4 months. I plan to leave either the end of February or early March. First, I wanted to address how I got to this point where I felt like God was calling me to go serve. A little bit of story time, but my first semester of school last year in the fall, I didn't know how to prioritize anything and I was very busy all the time. So I got pretty consumed in that very fast. As the semester ended and as it was coming close to Christmas break, I knew that I didn't want to keep in that cycle of busyness and craziness, but I didn't know what to do about it and I didn't know the changes to make. So second semester hit and I didn't know how to approach the semester differently. So I just went about my business the way that I used to. All of a sudden, God got a hold of me within the first couple of weeks of school, and He stopped me in my tracks, and He asked me one question that He would have me ponder for the next couple of months. And that question was, "What are you doing here?" I was so thrown off. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know if He wanted me somewhere else, which I knew that I felt peace at CCU in Colorado going to school. So I searched what He meant by that for the next couple of months. Well, summer eventually hit, and I had talked to my parents a little bit about what I was feeling and this change and this stirring in my heart. So we decided to talk to my missions pastor back at my local church at home and ask him what we should do about this. And so I actually had to explain everything that I was feeling, and we figured it out together. I started to do my research with missions organizations such as YWAM or other international internship type programs. Eventually, my pastor and I talked about one called CMFI, which I mentioned earlier, but it stands for Christian Missionary Fellowship International, and they have locations all around the world, and they meet specific needs, whether it be discipleship or church planting or teaching English, any of that stuff, and things related to it. They meet those needs. And we talked originally about a location in Africa, and I thought I was going there wholeheartedly because I knew that I wanted to serve somewhere where it was poverty stricken mostly, because I have never experienced anything like that before, and I knew that I wanted to place myself in a community where they had little, and I was able to enter into that community and be a part of it. But God had other plans for the location that I'd serve in. He called me through CMFI to Mexico City. He revealed to me and made it very clear that I had used my time poorly first semester, all throughout it. I had been focused on myself and everything that I was about and everything that I wanted, and I didn't have any room left or any time left for anyone else, or even thinking about anyone else, and that needed to change. So that is why I believe that God got a hold of me and called me to do something about it. As other details were being looked at, God placed 2 demographics on my heart: impoverished people and young women. Firstly, impoverished people because, like I mentioned before, they have little, and I haven't really experienced that before, so I want to be able to be a part of their world and relate to them on that level, and I want them to know that they are loved despite their circumstances and despite what they have materially. And also, second, young women, because I remember being a couple years younger back in the teens, and just in that really transitional stage of life where you're coming into your interests and in your gifts. And I remember wanting someone to invest in me and to pour into me and just to love me. And so I want to be that to other girls. And God putting these desires in my heart to be this way towards these people is a total combat to what and who I was like first semester when I was just thinking about myself. I got to the point where it just bothered me so much, and God placed it so heavily on my heart that that was not okay, and that was not who we're called to be. We're called to love selflessly because He did that when He was on this earth. So as far as Mexico City goes and how I'll be serving and what exactly I'll be doing, I will be living with some missionaries in Mexico City, and I'll be serving through the church and helping out with any activities or any programs that I can with the specific gifts that God has given me. I love conversations with people, so I know that I'm going to be an English conversation partner with a lot of kids, hopefully, and I'll be able to lead some Bible studies and be a part of some events that happen around the church. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this little video. I'd love to answer any questions you may have about Mexico or CMFI or what I'll be doing in Mexico, how I'll be serving, any stories in between. I'd love to answer any of those that you may have if you'd like to message me directly. Also, I'd love to set up a time to meet with you so you can hear it from me personally if you'd like. If you'd like to know how to give or how to pray specifically for me, you can message me for those things as well. Thank you again for watching this.